Wellcome Collection. I'm finally allowed to show you mine. Hello. I had to use a different app in order to do that. So this is the Wellcome Collection. If you're not familiar with the Wellcome Collection, it has several floors, way up, and then floors way down. This is me, so hi. I've got you on this floor called Forum Medicine Now Studio. So let's have a look at this. I've never been here before, so this is new. So this particular one has a range of ideas about science and medicine. Henry Wellcome had an eclectic collection. He's essentially the guy. Here, I'll flip this around so you can. Little bit of background. Henry Wellcome was the guy who kind of came up with the ability to actually have medicine in pill form. So he had all kinds of money. So he just bought all the things in odds and ends at auctions. And so he kind of developed this collection of odds and ends. So I thought I'd show you along with me. I've never been here before. So I thought I'd show you kind of a little bit of what they have here. So this particular one, they're studying the body. It says we examine new techniques and ways of looking at our internal biological structures and functions, advances in technology and anatomical techniques. And it's also looking into genomes. Yes, so the Bill Gates of medicine, yes. So Henry Wellcome, you know, he's the guy who kind of did all that, and so he has a heavy background in medicine. So this particular collection that he has odds and ends associated with medical things. So they look at the body. On this particular one, they look at genomes, and they also touch on obesity. And then Medicine Now also contains a browsing area full of experiences of patients, doctors, and scientists. And they encourage you to kind of sit at the tables and take time to look through all these drawers and view the screens. And they have books here. They have a whole section just on reading, into where you can kind of look at really old books in kind of odds and ends type of a collection. So that's a little bit about the Wellcome Collection. So I'm going to kind of walk around and give you some eyes on this. So here we are. This particular one we've got. This is the transparent woman. She's got her hands up with all of her bits. And it's interactive, so you can push these buttons and kind of see where they are inside of the woman. So this is a very good educational tool, kind of lets you know what the different parts are. And then we've got a plastinated body slice with a frontal cut. So 70% of our bodies consist of fluids, and in this exhibit, vacuum processes have been used to replace them with various plastics that only decay extremely slowly. So this is an actual slice of a person. So here you go. It's kind of all Hannibal Lecter on us, isn't it? And I'm going to walk around the sides so you can kind of see how thin it is. That's how thin it is. And there's the back side, which you can kind of get an idea on. So you got like a slice of a person. And they also have little audio stations where you can sit and kind of listen to various interesting things. So it's like a multi-sensory type of thing. Sit down and hear a sonographer. This one you can listen to a professor of medical physics, and to hear. You can hear about particular artists. And this particular, the Wellcome Collection is pretty interesting because they incorporate a lot of art along with medicine, and they show the importance. And there's currently an exhibit that's downstairs about graphic art and how graphic art has contributed a lot to saving lives through the use of medicine, as well as raising awareness for certain type of diseases, especially like STIs, including HIV. So now we're going to look at visualizations, different types of the human body. So this here is visualizing the human body. And so they've got different parts of the body here, kind of with different forms. So we've got an arm all the way up there, and then we've got labeled portions of the body. There's the face, parts of the brain, the ear, the skull. Check that out. We have the eyeball. How cool is that? More parts of the brain. Then we get into lungs and heart, and I believe that is a liver. There's a kidney. There's a heart. And then more portions. So this is a highly educational type of museum that allows people to kind of come and interact. We even have guides to where you can grab yourself a stool and have a seat and learn something. And then they feature a selection of the most cutting edge medical news. And then here we have something about dyslexia. So they incorporate a lot of art along with medicine. So so now we're looking at what this is, before I show you the big giant face. This is hand-carved pills, glass board. Alright? So look at this. These are all pills that have been hand-carved. Now notice something. They've carved organs out of pills. Look at that. That's pancreas. We've got a kidney. How cool is that? And here they've got the artistic rendition of a heart. There's hands. Look at that. So they've taken pills and carved various parts of the body out of it and made this giant piece. Look at that. So clever, isn't it? Incredibly clever. And so, And here, they've got a forum where you can post your different ideas, your pictures, which is kind of neat. Allows you a chance to express yourself. I'm limited on how much time I can have on the Wi-Fi, so I'm trying to show you guys the particularly cool aspects while I have it. So, but it's quite busy today. Today is Saturday, and people have gotten out to do this. Now, I'm about to show you something really kind of strange. Somebody has taken the skeleton and swapped the head for the pelvis. So look, here's the whole thing. Peekaboo. Very Halloweeny. You got something in your ears there, mate. That would be your femur and the ball of your femur. And then there's the pelvis at the top. I wonder if we could officially call this person a butthead. I think we could call this person a butthead. That was my attempt at humor. Oh no, go ahead, go ahead. So, somebody else is on. Let's see what this says. Steel rope animatronic eye and perspex. That's what this says. This has got so many weird things. It is literally like a collection of entirely random stuff. So here's a brain with the nervous system put together to kind of look almost like, let's say, I don't even know, kind of looks like the roots of a tree, an artistic rendition. So what they're saying here, working with chiropractic neurologist Dr. Mark Pitt at his dissection lab, the artist used her camera to document the inner world of the human body. Rourke found as she examined the bodies and organs that she was fascinated by their intricate patterns and structures. To maintain the focus on the abstract beauty of the body and its parts and prevent the images from becoming too visually assaulting, Rourke chose to produce austere black and white images such as this one, depicting human brain, spinal cord, and frayed nerve endings. So that's what that looks like. Ooh, I'm running into a thing behind me. So that's a brain and the nervous system. So, I mean, it's a fascinating thing. These are woven maps and printed echocardiograms. So these are actual echocardiograms, which is an instrument that measures your heartbeat that they've managed to turn into a piece of art. How cool is that? And then over here, these are sculptures that illustrate the activity patterns of the human brain as it responds to the 5 senses as sight. So this is sight, smell. Next one, hearing. This is what hearing looks like. These are actual sculptures of, I would imagine, MRI scans. Here's touch. That's what touch looks like in a 3D form. And taste. So as you can kind of see, this is an entirely weird museum. But it's weird in all the right ways, like with coolness. I mean, you got incorporation of medicine with art. And so let's move on to another section and see what we got here. Somebody has taken the human chromosomes. I think I don't think that's human chromosomes. I think they're oh, no, yep, they got it. They've taken the human chromosomes and translated like an artistic piece from socks. So here we go. Look, oh, sorry. So somebody, and they actually, that would be a karyotype of human chromosomes. And this one happens to be a female because there's X, but looks like they're missing another X or a Y. So it's intersex, this particular person. So we have all these chromosomes here, but they're made out of socks. But there's 22, and that's about, and the thing is, that's pretty accurate on sizes. You got little booties. If you go and you look at an actual karyotype of a human, you will see something just like this. But this is made out of socks. So, how can you not love that? It's just fascinating. All right. And over here, this one, what is this? Within genetics, just as words, a slip and the meaning turns. S and P's, and slips is a series of 21 pieces in total. So this is by Jane Lackey. It's a dictionary with laser engraving based on genetic code. So this is an artistic piece that's kind of made from inspiration based on SNPs, which is essentially they're paired with genetic sequences. They're called single nucleic polymorphisms within the genome. So this is like an artistic representation of that, which is interesting. And then here's glass and genetically modified soybeans, you know, for science. So I'm going to take you else to somewhere for people who are genetics people that are inherently fascinated by this sort of thing. I'm going to show you Dolly the sheep stuff. So this is droppings and a sample of fleece from Dolly the sheep. So they have her poo and her fleece. And so essentially, if you're not familiar with Dolly, Dolly is the world's most famous sheep because she was cloned. She was cloned, and there was an egg of a sheep that was taken, and then they inserted another, the genetic coding of an adult cell into that egg, and Dolly grew from that. She was the first genetically cloned sheep, and the problem was that she aged rapidly. And that's something due to what we call a Hayflick's limit, because there's only a certain amount of times that a cell can undergo so many divisions before it starts exhibiting the signs of aging. So when you think about yourself as an adult, Your cells have already been dividing so much to the point that if you take one of those cells, inject it into an egg and try to clone a person, it's already gone through millions and millions of divisions, and it has to do that again in order to make a brand new sheep. So the reason why Dolly didn't survive is she started to age rapidly. After she grew into an adult sheep, she started to degrade because she had reached Hayflick's limit. How many times you can actually cause, a cell to divide before it starts to die. So that's a real problem when it comes to cloning, and that's why we don't do that with humans. We have to overcome Hayflick's limit, and it's probably not really worth it, So I'm gonna move, I think, this one contains human remains. This is Medicine Man. So this is Medicine Man section. If you're squeamish, you may not like this so much. So you have been warned. And so we enter into Medicine Man. Here we go. It's all entirely civilized. Okay, so here's more information. So this is Henry Wellcome, the guy who got together all of this entirely cool collection. And this, I believe, is his personal collection that he has. All right, so he is pioneer of aerial photography. He also created one of the world's great museums, vast stockpile of evidence about our universal interests in health and the body. So here are all kinds of display copies so you can learn more. We've got this cool stuff. So let me see. Find some cool stuff around here. So here is an entire display case. So human remains time. Look, that almost sounds a little bit psycho. So he just essentially, once he started to become wealthy from all of his medical endeavors, he just had people go out to auctions and just collect everything they could. This is Florence Nightingale's moccasins, okay? Because, that would be cool to have. This is a doctor's signboard hung with human teeth. It's kind of hard to see, it's a bit dark. There's a stethoscope, a linnet stethoscope made out of wood. Where are the human remains? Oh, hold on. And here is a bit brighter, so we'll have a look. Anatomical figure with removable parts. So this is likely an educational type of device. And then another model. Give us an idea. Oh, look at this. A plaster model of a human eye. Isn't that fantastic? And phrenology. Any phrenologists out there? Now this, for my real science nerds. Compound monocular microscope. Circa 1700. Check out that sweet thing. X-ray tubes. It literally is just an eclectic collection of really cool things. These do not look very comfortable, these particular samples. I'm gonna have a walk around and see if I can find any other cool stuff, because I think I might be running low on time. Who wants to see a guillotine blade? For science. There's a guillotine blade, steel and wood, French, 1790, 1794. So we know what that was for. Cutting off the heads of people. God. I wonder how sharp it is still. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look up who Jeremy Bentham is, because apparently that's his skin, and it has something written on it. A random gallbladder, Canopic jars. And these were excavated, it seems, from 1850 to 1894, Egyptian, Wax and cloth. Alright, so we got a mummy over here. You guys want to see a mummy? But first, shrunken head. Oh my gosh. We actually have a shrunken head at my local museum. That's kind of cool. There is a recipe to it, and it is possible to shrink a head. Perhaps I could talk about that one day. Requires a lot of sand, heat. All right, now we're gonna come over here. Mummified male body. Look at that. That's the whole thing. And it's just, look how small it is. That's my hand for reference. The face is about the size of my hand. Look at that detail. Mummified male body. Odds and ends type of stuff. I was told there's a crazy stuffed walrus around here somewhere that was stuffed kind of oddly. So it was like somebody had never seen a walrus before and just stuffed it. Because, you know, walruses are supposed to have wrinkly skin, and somebody just kept stuffing it until it just was inflated. So I'm trying to see if I can find where that walrus is. But in the meantime, let's have a look at some other stuff from the Wellcome Collection. Huh. Let's see. Here is a snuff container. All right, you know, snuff is technically small, you know, and you put it on your little thumb and you sniff it and stuff. So it's a ram's head. That is a heck of a snuff container. Ram's head, silver gilt, and mixed materials. So apparently they just put their snuff in the top there, and then they got it out sometimes. I don't understand why you would need something that large to hold your snuff, but see, that's kind of cool. There's an opium pipe. It is literally just a bunch of odds and ends. And here's a whole bunch of glass eyes. And a copper anklet, you know, for fashion. Just, I have never been in this particular museum before, but they have a lot of really cool stuff, and it seems like today they have some musicians, and that's what the music is. So I'm going to give you guys a peek of that. Isn't that nice? And in the room with a bunch of just gorgeous art. So I'll let you listen to some of this music while we look at interesting works of art. How cool is this? This is entirely random childbirth picture. She looks too happy. Maybe she's happy it's over. That's interesting. It's just amazing, just what an interesting collection. So here we have a painting of a woman without her skin and parts. So, yeah. And then here, we've got a whole section just on artificial limbs. There's a metal arm. How cool is that? I really like the soundtrack in the background. This almost looks like Furiosa, doesn't it? Check out that arm, man. I kind of want that. Man, that'd be cool. Artificial limbs are cool. And then here we've got votive offerings. Apparently, yes, isn't this cool? I don't know how much longer I can stay on here, but this is just so cool. Just a lot of groovy stuff. I'm gonna go around the back side, so it is cool, isn't it? And here's the thing, this is the Wellcome Collection in London. If you've never been to London, you must know that all the museums are free. And they tend to be open on Saturdays as well. And Saturday tends to be a very, very, very busy day, but totally worth it. Now I'm going to show you some really creepy chairs. How about that? And if you're just joining and you don't know who Henry Wellcome is, he was a guy who kind of was a forerunner in medicinal chemistry and making pills, you know, medicine that you can do in pills. You want to see the creepy chairs? Okay. So he just essentially just had people buy stuff at auction all the time. Look at this. Okay. Check it out. So this has blades in it. Because, you know, sometimes you just need to sit on blades and have them for your feet as well. Creepy chair. I need to find, okay, so this one is called the dragon chair, all right? And it says, for many years, this rare example of a dragon chair, and here it is from the side, was thought to be a torture implement, but they were used by Chinese mediums while channeling the spirit of God. So this practice was frowned upon by some quarters of Chinese society, as this practice was not part of their formal religious beliefs. So it's not torture. They did this on purpose. Now this is a birthing chair. That doesn't look entirely comfortable. So essentially you sit in this chair and you have your baby. That's a birthing chair. I apologize for the reflections. So what do you think this is? The slot for the baby, right? Let's see. What do you guys think this is? Pretty certain this is a medical chair of some sort. That would be my guess. All of what I'm reading, just so you know, is right over here. So the Wellcome Collection, I need to make sure it's a dentist chair. So I want to make sure that I give credit that this is the first time I've been to this collection, and so I don't have as much knowledge about it as it's new to me. So there's the dentist chair, and less glare so you can kind of see the others a bit better. And then there's just a giant wall of nothing but glassware. A giant wall of nothing but glassware, you know, just in case. And then here is Henry Wellcome in his fancy dress as a medicine man. I think he was just a very eccentric man that just loved to collect really weird things, and that's just, to me, this makes him inherently cool. And because he was like, hey, I have all this money down, I'm just going to collect all this weird stuff that I find at auctions, and then I'm going to make it into a museum. And that's essentially what he did. So now I have like a whole row of nothing but masks that he collected. Here we've got all of these masks. Again, apologies for the glare. So he just said, you know what, just get whatever you think looks cool. This almost looks like Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas, doesn't it? I'm gonna move around. Sorry. He's got a smirk. Yeah, death mask. That's probably what that is. Good call. Did you guys ever see the Twilight Zone episode? A really old episode where they had masks for Halloween, and whatever mask you put on your face was what you were stuck with for the rest of your life. So these are all different types of masks. So I'm going to show you something else. And something that they encourage people to do here, they have a whole library for books and stuff. Yeah, it was a great episode. But they also have like lots of drawers. Pull out and have a look. Like, none of this is labeled on the outside, see? So it's kind of like, ooh, surprise, check this out. So let's see what's in this drawer. What is that? That's an amulet. Sudanese from the 19th century. So there you go. If you need an amulet. People are up there, so I don't want to disturb them. And now for something completely different. Respectfully dedicated to the Temperance League. Two women beg and cower in a snowy street. Two men indulge themselves drinking in a warm pub. It's a transfer lithograph from 1868. So you can just kind of probably spend hours going through this particular museum, just looking at all the stuff. So, who wants to see some scary metal instruments? So check this out. I feel like this is either going to turn into a Dexter episode or Hannibal, especially with the sliced person that we saw earlier. If you're just joining us, go back and have a look, because there was a whole section of nothing but like weird medical art, including a slice of a human that was plasticized. These are the scary metal instruments. Some of them are really quite ornate, though. Various surgical goodies, right? Does this not remind you a little bit of Little Shop of Horrors? You know, the dentist. And just so you know, these wonderful people are providing an absolutely beautiful soundtrack in the Wellcome Collection. So if you're curious, they have music on Saturdays. Isn't that cool? Scary metal instruments. So now we're at a photograph section. I don't know who put the band there, but I'm also quite thankful for the band because we have bouncy music, right? Let's have a look at these. So, oh wow. Some just absolutely gorgeous photographs, because Henry Wellcome actually did enjoy aerial photography. So not only was he a philanthropist and involved in medicine, he also was involved in photography. Okay, that tambourine player means something. That tambourine player was absolutely excited. Look at these smaller pictures. It's just absolutely gorgeous. He clearly traveled a lot. Just captured little moments in time. The tribe members being painted. So the Wellcome Collection is pretty much not only dedicated to medicine and medical education, coupled with the importance of art and science, but it's also everything that he's ever gotten and collected. Now we're on the other side of metal instruments. Here's all of the gynecological stuff that scares people. Forceps. All of the forceps. Let's just hold our breath right now, because I'm a lady. And this is a little scary. Can you imagine somebody coming at you with this? You'd be like, what in the world? Yes, it's just amazing. This entire museum. It is, it's like a true joy. I mean, all of the forceps. Knives on one side, forceps on the other, man. It's just a true joy. So I'm gonna walk this way and see if I can take you guys over here. I wanted to see what was in the big drawers because I didn't get a chance. So, oh wow, that's a joy. It's like, so here's the muscles of the head and neck, you know, not for the queasy. So there's a thing. Let's see what's in the other big drawers. It's just like a cool discovery thing. Anatomical fugitive sheet. All right. I wish I could lift that up because I imagine you could see parts in there. We got more big drawers to look at, right? I I'm so excited. Wow, look at that. This is in Dubois de Chimon demonstrating his own and a woman's false teeth to a prospective male patient with disorder sheath. So this guy is a dentist, and he's saying, look at this lady's teeth. Aren't they great? You need your teeth fixed. That's essentially what this is. So it's an advertisement for getting your teeth fixed. So let's look in this one. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go this way so you can see a bit better. This is people scrambling to get away from a leper. That is literally the name of this. Crippled limbs and shrunken head disease. Exactly. We saw shrunken head earlier. So that is literally the name of this piece. People scrambling to get away from a leper. So that's what that looks like. Let's look at the top one and then I'll take you somewhere else. Woo! Look at that. This is like, the lighting's not so good, but it's like basically a Chinese anatomy type of thing. No, I'm sorry, it's Japanese. My fault. That is Japanese, not Chinese. Ooh, goodness. They are getting really, really... So, oh, there's a whole section just for reading. You want to read about things and just hang out. You can read about poultry and people. They have a really nice little book collection so you can just kind of sit and enjoy. I'm curious to see. Does sound a bit like gestures in the background, doesn't it? And they do have digital guides that you can pick up while you're in here to kind of have a look around. So, which is pretty cool. I think that might be all. I think that might be all, because I've never been here before. I've been to London 8 times. This is the Wellcome Collection in London. I've been to London 8 times, and I've never been to the Wellcome Collection. So if you're ever here, on this one they're doing, and I'm not allowed to take photography pictures or anything, they're talking about the importance of graphic arts in saving lives. And then they have an events section. This is where we just were. Gallery 2 is, I'm going to try to find that. And then there's also a reading room, so they have a whole library if you just want to go. I am in London right now. So let me see if I can find Gallery 2. If it's open, it may not be open, but that's okay. Gallery 2 is closed, so I can't go in there because it's for refurbishment. But to kind of go back through and show you, if you just joined us, I'm going to go back and show you the cool thing of the slice of the person, because I thought that was pretty cool. So here was the Medicine Now exhibit. That is an artistic rendition of somebody who obesity. They have a thing on obesity. So this is an artistic piece called I Can't Help the Way I Feel. Then they've got a whole section on the various types of things associated with labor-saving devices and exercise. But I think probably my favorite thing was the plastinated body slice with frontal cut. So this is like an actual piece of a person. It's a slice of a person that's been plasticized. Look how thin it is. So for you Hannibal fans out there, this is a thing that exists. So that's a thing that exists. And then my other favorite thing, I think, on this particular section was the butt head skeleton. The pelvis is on the head and the head is on the butt. So that is a butthead skeleton right there. So I think that was probably my other favorite thing. And then also the genome made out of socks. So I'm gonna sign off shortly, right? And they still have huge amounts. You could just sit here and have a seat listening to the voices of scientists and their research and read a book amongst fantastic art pieces based in medicine. Educate yourself and then go check out the weirdo stuff collected. So I've never been to this museum before, and all of my friends that live here are like, you gotta go to the Wellcome Collection. You would love it. And they're right. I absolutely loved it here at the Wellcome Collection. And I think I'm almost out of time on the Wi-Fi, and so since I was able to get on the Wi-Fi here, I thought I would share this with you. And so, thanks for hopping aboard. I'm gonna try to stream live a little bit later and talk to you about my visit to the Francis Crick Institute. So, and how you can help with researchers there anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are, because they need citizen scientists. So I'm going to talk about that. If I can't get to it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow before I get on my plane back to the States. So I think I'll do it today sometime though. And thank you. All right. Well, you guys have an awesome Saturday. If it's Saturday where you are, it might be Sunday. And I will see you guys a little bit later. Bye.